I'd be honored if George H.W. Bush grabbed my ass. That would be an honor.
Okay.
All right, then.
And then he made a dirty joke. I would laugh.
Yeah.
I would
All right,
laugh.
then.
I would. And I'm not trying to victim blame. I'm just saying give him a break. He gets a break. Kevin Spacey doesn't,
Harvey Weinstein doesn't.
I'm not like, oh, none of this matters. His does not matter.
Because of the oldness and the president.
When you're that old, it's just cute. It's like, what are we going to do? Go to
so
senior
93
citizen
is going to be
center?
the cutoff then? When Trump does it at 69, 70, it's
that
not,
rascal.
it's not
I think
over.
like 88 is the cutoff.
Okay.
If
that
you're older than
rascal
88.
grabbing
Yeah,
pussies.
you're just, it's just guy locker room stuff. It happens.
Yeah, it totally happens.
When you're old and your wife is really old, you just grab whatever comes to you.
So if old women do that to young men, is that okay? If you're an old lady and your husband's really old?
It happened to me while I was working at the Alma Senior Center.
But you condone
Wait,
both
wait,
sides?
wait. Let's go more into detail with this. Alma Senior Center.
Oh, there was a grabby old lady. She used to touch everybody that came by. They're like, what is it? Like sea cucumbers. Whatever fish swims their way, they eat it.
What?
I don't think sea cucumbers eat fish.
Are you thinking of moray eels?
No, whatever grows on the seafloor and then eats things that come too close. It's like a Venus flytrap.
Oh, you're thinking of those camouflage fish and sharks then.
Whatever.
Yeah, I think she is the Venus flytrap and you're the sea cucumber.
Right, and she touched me.
How about that Bills loss?
Well,
Trap game.
I think it's
It
time.
was a trap game. The Jets every year are a trap game.
I think it's time for a bit of money on the table for Podcast Crew. You got 8 games left. I think it's at this point you got to call out if the Bills are in the playoffs or not.
Absolutely. There's no way they miss it. They can go 8-8, and in a majority they're gonna make the playoffs 57%.
Does the New York Times playoff machine have them at 88% if they beat Miami twice and the Chargers?
Yeah.
Yep.
That would give you 9-7, right?
Yep.
Well, no, that gets us to 8-8.
Yeah.
Minimum.
And if they beat the Colts, then I think
5 wins already.
Yeah. Plus
So if
Miami,
you
Miami, and San Diego.
Or Miami, Colts.
Los Angeles.
Sorry.
So you're 9.
They're gonna move back.
Yeah, I know.
But you could lose one of those games and still make it.
I am not going to be confident that we are going to make it until we are actually mathematically in. I'm not going to be confident at 9-7 because I know the world is just going to screw us like it always does.
9-7, you get in no matter what.
You know what? I'm going to call out my shot here. I think the Bills do make it. I look at the rest of the AFC and Houston, awful,
Done.
No
garbage.
more Deshaun Watson.
They're done.
J.J. Watt got hurt.
Yeah.
Their defense is decimated. So anybody that has them in fantasy, Scott, you should probably drop them. Then again, Scott has 3 defenses on his roster like a madman.
Well, Scott doesn't care anymore. He's reached the Scott fantasy point of, I'm doing well this flat line of I just don't care, Scott face.
He's 6-2. He should keep caring.
Yeah, well.
But if we want to call shots, I think both the wildcard teams are going to beat the division winners in the wildcard round.
So you think the Bills will win a wildcard game?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Against Jacksonville or Tennessee or one of those bad
I think
division
Jacksonville's
winners.
going to take the South. I think their defense is that good, and if Bortles has average games, they're going to win.
Competent games.
Yeah.
But here's what I look
Fewer
like.
than 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's just what I look at. It's just who else take the spot? The Raiders? We already have the game in hand on
The
that.
Raiders are such a wild card because they're either awesome or they're awful.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
they're
here's
only
the
a
thing.
game back.
And
now.
last night, I think they were kind of awful, but they still squeaked out a win.
They were
The Raiders
bad.
are 2 games back, Rich. They're 4-5.
Well,
And the Chiefs are 6-3.
A game back in the sense that we're 5-3.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I mean, if the Raiders do something crazy and run the board, that means that the Chiefs at least lose again. And that means that suddenly Kansas City's lost 3 straight. And honestly, I just can't look at the Bills doing poorly on Thursday night and be like, yeah, this is how the team works. This is our weaknesses. No team does well on Thursday night. Let's look at, there was one entertaining Thursday night game this year, and that
Rams
was
and 49ers.
Rams and 49ers. And the 49ers haven't been close to being that entertaining for the rest
the
of the
Jets
year.
and Bills game was entertaining if you were a Jets fan.
Yeah, I guess. But it's like
You were entertained too,
that's true.
angrily.
I mean, I was entertained when Miami got blown out 40-0 the week before. But
I wish I saw that game.
But you just look at it and
I'm
it's
glad I
like
didn't.
Thursday night games just seem to be totally tilted one way or the other.
Richie, wasn't it Richie Incognito kind of went off about it?
Yeah, and he's
said they were
out-
bullshit.
The older guys especially, they can't handle that on a short rest.
Well, it's
the only way you should have a Thursday night game for a team is if
Your
that is
bye
them
weeks.
coming off the bye
I mean,
week.
yeah, exactly. I'm tired of it,
Because
man.
then you get the extended week to recover.
It's
with the 10
not.
days
It's
off.
not good football. I
No,
mean,
it's not.
We had one good game this year, and it was a great game. But again, it was also early in the year. You get to this point,
Yeah.
and it's just a slog,
Teams
man.
are dead already.
Yeah, you're looking
Especially
at
if they
team-
haven't
yeah.
had the bye yet.
I
I'm
mean,
also sick of these NFL Network only games.
Well, ours was on local TV
Right.
as well. I
But
think
our
ABC
local
picks
channels
it
had to
up.
buy it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is
No,
garbage.
that's a joke too.
Yeah, this year they're on also Amazon Prime too.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Does Twitter have some? Or no,
Only-
Amazon took them from Twitter, didn't they?
Amazon Prime has some
Only
of
the
them.
games that are on NFL Network and NBC or NFL Network and CBS are on Amazon Prime. But the games that are just on NFL Network are not on Prime.
The other thing,
Which
that
is
I-
exactly
the
the
other thing I
opposite of what
really
you
didn't
should
like about the Bills game from Thursday, aside from the fact that we embarrassed ourselves on national TV in primetime again, and we lost
again.
again, is that all of the garbage time points we got, it made it look less bad than it actually was.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate when that happens.
It wasn't the wake up call you needed.
I hate when the scoreboard reflects or doesn't reflect a super poor performance.
Exactly.
Because that's what happens when teams go into a prevent
Yeah.
defense.
The one thing I will at least say though is I think McDermott is the type of coach who understands that the score doesn't matter. So
I think the players are aware too.
yeah, I think
They're-
in the
they're
past that
witnessing.
has hurt the Bills, where the Bills have scored garbage points and like, oh, I see, we were kind of close with some of the coaches.
Well, yeah,
there.
that's what happens. when you have
Dick
Rex Ryan.
Duran.
Yeah.
Doug Marone, who's saying, we had a winning season because he beat the Patriots that benched all their players in the
And then
final
they
game.
didn't they lose
Yeah.
to Oakland? Or was that Rex?
Well-
was that a Rex team losing to
No,
Oakland?
that was
Marone?
That was Marone because
Yeah.
they beat the Packers. They
Yeah.
beat the Packers the
You're
week
right.
before,
we,
and then
we
blew
could have
into
been
the-
10-6.
Yeah.
If we beat Oakland.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't have made the
Still
playoffs.
wouldn't have made the playoffs, which sucks. But
No, I think we would have.
But looking back at the AFC, I mean, okay, the Raiders are maybe the only threat. The Broncos have completely fallen apart. The Chiefs are going to win the division. The Chargers are mad. They're transitioning because Rivers is finally getting old.
nobody good in the AFC South.
Besides the two teams we talked about, Tennessee and Jacksonville are okay.
AFC North, Pittsburgh will run away with that division.
Yeah,
And I don't think
Cincinnati
another team
lost
is
to
a threat.
Jacksonville. Who did the Colts just beat? Didn't the Colts just beat someone we needed
Houston.
to?
Houston.
Yeah,
they
Colts
beat
beat Houston. I mean,
So that helps
since
us.
since he is just
Yeah.
since he's out, AJ Green is literally so frustrated he started punching people. And I mean,
Baltimore's
How
not
do you
good.
punch somebody wearing a helmet?
well,
Yeah, what an idiot.
Right in
Yeah.
the back of the head.
Yeah.
well, I think
And you're a receiver too.
Yeah.
You need,
You need your hands.
well, it's just more. I mean, I can't believe Marvin Lewis hasn't been fired yet. That dude should have been fired. I still hold the opinion he should have been absolutely fired a year ago in that game against that playoff game against Pittsburgh, where he completely lost
They blew
control
it.
of the defense
Yeah.
and took two unsportsmanlike conduct penalties to put Pittsburgh into.
Well,
field
I mean,
goal.
that's
I think he
also
should have been fired
fault of
4 years
Vontez
ago.
Burfict
Oh
being
yeah,
a
but
scumbag.
here's the deal: Vontez should have never even made it to the game. The dude's a scumbag.
He shouldn't be in the league anymore.
Exactly. I mean, Marvin should have been fired because you cannot, if you can't discipline your players like that, then you should be fired. I'm sorry.
Yeah, aside from the back on the Bills real quick because I feel we're going to move on soon. Aside from the positives that we still have good playoff odds and we're only 5-3, best thing to come out of that game, I think that was one of Tyrod Taylor's best performances as a quarterback throwing the football.
Absolutely.
When he had time, he was hitting timing throws. He was very accurate. Downside is he had no time that
No
game.
time.
The one thing that I will say about this, and this can go either positive or negative, but it's a gut check to the Bills. I mean, it kind of helps that, not like I ever advocate for getting blown out of a game, but sometimes blowouts can really re-perspective
No,
stuff on it.
that one's definitely going to put him into, maybe we're not as good and it's not as easy as we think. I'm not saying
Yeah.
they gave up, but they were clearly unprepared. Attribute that to short rest or cockiness
Or
what have
whatever.
you.
Yeah. But it'll be real telling to me what kind of team we see when they come out against the Saints. I don't know if they'll beat the Saints, but if they come out and give the Saints a hell of a fight, then I'll be relatively happy
The
with
good
it.
thing is the Saints are an NFC opponent.
Yeah.
If we
And
lose to them, it's
who
going
cares?
to impact us, obviously, because it's another one in the loss
Najim,
column,
I believe
but-
you posted this. It's something dumb like if the Bills beat the Chargers but lose the Saints, it's like 75%. If the Bills beat the Saints but lose to the Chargers, it drops down to like 50-50. That's
Right.
so yeah. This game doesn't just I would like to see them play well though. And hey, if they get a win, that's
Is
great.
this our last NFC opponent too? Or do we?
Let's see. We've got
Yes.
Saints, LA. Who comes after
we-
LA?
No, we
Kansas City.
Yeah, Saints, LA, KC.
And then I think it's all the AFC.
And then it's then I think it's
Dolphins, Patriots.
Dolphins, Patriots, Patriots, Dolphins, or something like that.
we still have Indy too.
Oh, we got Indy between them,
So
right?
yeah, this is our last NFC game.
And hey,
And if we win, that'll be great.
yeah,
because
let's see.
a
We
6-2
beat
team,
the
but
we beat the Bucks. We beat the we beat the Bucks. We beat the
Falcons.
Falcons. We lost.
lost to Carolina.
Yep.
So
Also good that Zay Jones is apparently okay, which is good because I thought he was hitting his stride. He didn't practice today, but they said he's only day to day, and there was the MRI didn't show any major.
Scrine should have been penalized and ejected
Absolutely.
from that game. That
Yep.
was a malicious trip.
And then that was a momentum killer.
Zay also he scores a touchdown if
Yeah,
he doesn't get
absolutely.
Zay gets to play the slot now, which I think he fits better.
It's gonna help.
I'm looking forward to Kelvin.
Matthews can play the slot too.
Yeah.
Zay will probably be the other outside guy.
I'm looking forward to Kelvin Benjamin. I think he brings a lot to the team. I'm interested to see what they do. I was really impressed with his work ethic when he said that he stayed in Buffalo the
It was
entire
a very
weekend.
good trade, I think.
Yeah.
Giving up a third and a 7 for that.
And the best thing about the trade is it's really good for next year too.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're not as rushed to find a receiver. We can plug some more holes, and if he works out, then
You can
hey,
re-sign him.
yeah, because you've already got
that's
a
your number one
GM and
guy.
a coach who really like him.
The Bills finally have a good, massive pass catching target at 6'5". People are attributing his size and not blazing speed to him only being a jump ball 50-50 kind of guy. But he's been a number one receiver in the league for a reason. He knows how to run routes. He can get separation just because he's tall and fat, which I guarantee he's going to get back into better shape now that he's up here.
I imagine he's going to be a great run blocker.
That too. And hey, is that such a bad thing in the offense we run? Absolutely
No.
not.
Love it.
Tavares Cadet instead of Taiwan number 1. Hopefully they'll actually use him instead
Fare
of
thee well,
Tolbert, just
Taiwan
Fonseca.
Jones. You know what? I literally embarrassed myself in the Bills-Bucks game by saying to a bunch of fans, why is Taiwan Jones in this game?
Yep.
Taiwan Jones makes a big play. So you know what? I've got no problem with Jones. I was a big critic of him.
I held a lot against him when he dropped that one ball in the preseason.
Yep, exactly. And you know what? He did his thing. He won us
He
the
was a
Bucks
good
game.
special
I'm
teams
sorry.
player.
I'm sorry to see him
It
get
sucks
hurt
to
like
see him
that.
get hurt.
All right.
So yeah, do we have more sports stuff you want to talk about, Rich?
Nah, I mean the MLS playoffs happened. Let me see.
And give us the highlights.
Summing up, though, the NFL is stupid. Fantasy football sucks. If the Bills make the playoffs, Buffalo's going to burn to the ground. But they probably won't because God hates us. So, the usual.
We're going to the divisional round.
We're going to win the Super Bowl.
I will say, who's the okay?
Four straight, except Jim
Here's the
Kelly's
real
not
question,
there.
though. So I bet the South finishes in the 4th seed.
Roll
the division
Tide.
leader of the South finishes in the 4th, whether it's Tennessee or Jacksonville. Would you rather play Tennessee or Jacksonville, or who do you think finishes 3rd? Do you think that's going to end up being like KC? Do the Steelers?
Which former Bills coach do you want to play against?
I mean, I
Mike
don't know.
Mularkey.
I don't know. I'm really curious to see how we do against KC. That'll inform my decision. But I mean, KC looks vulnerable. They've lost 3 of their last 4.
Three in a
Casey's
row.
got weapons. I think I would rather play Jacksonville. I know their defense is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll know if we kick Casey's ass that we
Yeah.
know we should play
Probably
KC
play them,
again.
exactly. Oh, wait until that. Rich, give us the highlights on MLS.
So, in the second leg, New York Red Bulls won 1-0 against Toronto FC, but Toronto FC moves ahead on aggregate because they scored 2 away goals in the first leg.
That's gay.
That's how the tiebreaker is. Away goals win.
And this explains why I don't watch the MLS soccer playoffs.
That's
I'm
how
sorry,
it is,
Rich.
period.
That's fucking.
That's how it is in soccer, period. Away goals win.
Why?
Because they think home field advantage, so if you score away, you therefore win.
This is the dumbest thing I've heard ever since Major League Baseball decides that whoever wins the freaking All-Star game
That
should
doesn't
get
matter
home
anymore.
field advantage.
That doesn't exist anymore.
I know, they got rid of it. Like they should
Yeah,
get rid of this MLS soccer
The
thing.
away, it's not just in MLS. It's in the Champions League. It's even in the World Cup.
Man, this
Or,
is why I
no, the
just
World
can't-
Cup is one game, but it's in every major tournament.
I'm sorry, this is just why I can't get into the sport. That bugs me so much. Just have the team who wins go on.
Well, technically, it's 2 legs. It's
I
it's
know.
a home and home, and they tied, so away goals is the tiebreaker.
Okay, okay. That
Yeah,
makes a little more
so
sense.
New York. So the first game, Toronto won 2-1.
Okay.
It was in New York. And then this game, it was in Toronto. New York won 1-0, so therefore it's tied 2-2. Toronto scored 2 away goals, therefore
Okay.
they move on.
Why can't they just play 3 games and have a best 2?
Because it's a home and home.
Okay, I guess.
New York City won 2-0. New York City FC won't beat Columbus Crew 2-0, but Columbus Crew moves on 4-3 on aggregate. And Houston...
Wow. Winning games no longer matters.
I mean, it is a home and home. So it's basically...
I don't care.
And then Houston won 2-1 on aggregate after the first game was 0-0. So that leaves for the conference championship, Columbus taking on Toronto and Houston taking on Seattle.
All right, cool.
That's all I have for sports.
Thanks for the MLS.
I just can't imagine.
Before
winning
we
a
end this
playoff
sports
game and
section,
then
I
being
need
told,
to
get out.
I need to appropriately move on to our next section. So here we go. This is our sports kind of outro. Fuck Matt Tennyson. All right, let's move on to something else.
All right. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Zachary Levi has been cast as Shazam in the DC comic book adaptation of that same title being helmed by Lights Out and Annabelle Creations' David Sandberg.
Who is this?
So Shazam is. Are they doing the Wizard Shazam or is
I
it
don't
going to
know.
be Captain
They just said
Marvel?
that it's going to be Shazam and DC comic book adaptation.
Who is the actor?
Zachary Levi.
Then he's got to be playing Captain Marvel.
No release date has been for Shazam but New Line is eyeing a February start. To
Isn't
production.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson playing Black Adam?
Yeah, I'll get to that later.
Okay.
We
So
can
what do
get
you
to
guys
it
think?
now. I mean, it was said.
I mean,
Dwayne the Rock Johnson is playing Black Adam, who is the nemesis of Captain Marvel, aka is it Billy Madison? It might be Billy Madison.
well,
Might be the
on the
kid's
other, it's being written by Undateable creator, who is basically a comedy writer.
name. Okay.
He's written Maid of Honor, Due Date, Awesome Town, Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road
Oh
Chip.
my god.
He created Undateable.
The confidence that DC is inspiring.
He was a
within me
writer
right
on
now.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and then he's also a writer on We're the Millers.
I
too.
swear to God, if DC blows Justice League,
So-
then Disney should
There's a
also
We're the
acquire their
Millers too?
rights.
Apparently.
Yeah,
Why-
DC should just buy, or Disney should just buy everything.
Who is making these decisions?
Whoever
That
is the head of DC.
Whoever also decided that Suicide Squad should be the second main DC movie, or I'm sorry, third main DC
Let's
movie. in the
take-
Maybe they submitted a writing sample and it was good.
Let's take a sitcom writer and put them in charge
Yeah, he's basically a comedy
of
writer.
our lead franchise. That just seems.
Well,
It's
I
the same
mean-
thing with Star Wars. Like,
It's
Maybe he went to high school with the producer.
Black Adam.
possible.
I don't know much
Maybe.
about him.
So Black Cat, basically,
I
here's
mean,
how
it
it
is
goes.
The Rock, so
Yeah.
they could
Well,
be
let me-
turning it into a comedy.
Let me give you a brief background. So basically, Captain Marvel works like this: kid discovers
Give us a Twitter
an
recap.
ancient wizard. Ancient wizard is like, I can, by saying the name Shazam, you can transform into this fully grown adult male.
Is this
who
Shazam?
who's
Is this the Shazam thing?
Yes, it's Shazam, also known as Captain Marvel. So Billy Madison says Shazam, and he goes from 11-year-old kid to like 25-year-old like Superman-looking guy. And Black Adam is basically his counterpart nemesis, who's basically a super old Egyptian dude. So this brings up Dwayne the Rock Johnson back in The Scorpion King. But so basically he does the same thing, but he like says some name of some sort of ancient Egyptian deity. He
Shazam.
transforms into Black Adam, and they're basically rivals. Sometimes he's an anti-hero, sometimes he's a villain. Sounds like he'll be more of a villain in
So
this
what are
one.
the chances that he uses a line from the Scorpion King?
50%, at least if this is a comedy.
Oh, I have
movie.
another thing about Shazam.
What you got?
Mark Strong is going to play Dr. Sivana.
Oh no.
Oh, there's a distress.
what does that mean?
It means that
Person.
they're gonna use creepy hypnosis and basically, okay, here's the thing.
Give it to me.
Captain Marvel and his sister Mary Marvel are both like 11-year-old kids originally. Shyvana, in one of the more, let's say, early incarnations, attempts to, hypnotize the girl to, maybe be his wife, and she's like 11 years old. So he is one creepy
Can she also
motherfucker.
transform into a 25-year-old?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why he hypnotizes her, not realizing that she's in fact like 11.
Then
So that's fine,
makes
right?
sense.
Yeah, it's
can't
still
blame the
kind
guy.
of creepy when you have the backstory. But
Well,
yes,
yeah.
it's at
No,
least.
It's creepy, but not.
to his
He's still-
perspective, he
his-
doesn't know.
not-
To be
it's
fair,
not
though,
his
he still
fault.
tries to go through with it after he finds out that he's 11-year-old kid.
Wow.
It's
there
not
you-
really an 11-year-old.
There you go.
So
Yeah,
he's
if he can hypnotize her to stay 25 forever, then...
Yeah, then what are we talking
Well,
about?
but
so
like
he's a creepy MF.
But
Right, but what if he
mentally,
has, like, what if he like has no feelings whatsoever for an 11-year-old, like an actual creep?
Well, I don't know.
So-
Luckily,
if she
this
took the
was
form
stopped.
of an 11-year-old, he would no longer be attracted
This
to
was
her.
also the 50s. You know, that place where they decided that Wonder Woman should be bondaged in every way, shape, or form throughout.
Man,
Okay, well,
Wait,
I'm
did you
gonna-
guys not hear about this?
the woman flew
Listen,
an
in the
invisible
golden
jet.
age of comics, Wonder Woman couldn't go like 2 issues without them needing to like actually like bind her up, sometimes using her own lasso and chaining her to various objects. I'm not even joking. You can look this up. They couldn't
I
go like
won't.
2 issues
I won't.
without the Wonder Woman writer had a bondage fetish. It's actually documented proof. It's really strange.
Is it strange?
I
But
need
the
to read more
50s, we
comics.
were all God-fearing and wholesome in the 50s.
Yeah. Totally.
Kids never got taken.
Yeah. Well, they had to suppress all that shit, and then it just came out in little spurts in comic books and.
Sure.
Why would they have to suppress it? They didn't know that even existed because they were so pure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm moving on. All right.
Probably for the best.
That's how people treated their wives back then. They didn't know it was bad.
Oh God.
In a report from the Wrap, after parting ways with the Weinstein Company, Quentin Tarantino is shopping his next film about Charles Manson to some major studios and forcing executives to go through a very complicated process in order to obtain a bid for the film. The companies include Warner Brothers, Universal Pictures, and Paramount. And Tarantino is having executives drive over to his agents at WME to read the script, after which his agent presents deal points that will allow the studios to bid on the theatrical rights.
Do I really want to see a movie about Charles Manson?
I don't want to see a
I
Charles
mean-
Manson movie.
Yeah,
It's
you
ba-
see,
it's-
But
that's what I thought.
It's
a
made by
Quentin
Quentin Tarantino.
Didn't
I don't
South
care.
Park already do it with, like, the Christmas Charlie Manson?
Yeah, I think they did actually, and that was enough for me for a lifetime.
Plot is irrelevant to me. Like a Quentin Tarantino movie is still going to be a Quentin Tarantino.
Is it just going to
movie.
be like
I mean,
is
someone's
it going
head's
to be the
gonna
actor
explode,
playing
but-
Charles Manson just like screaming over the Beatles Helter Skelter the
I
entire
I have
hope,
no
time?
idea.
I
There's
hope
like
it's
no
Samuel L.
plots.
Jackson.
What a awesome position to be in, right?
I know, right? Like that's
Like
what I would like.
99% of filmmakers, that's flipped, right? You're taking your idea,
Like,
and you're
who has the
shopping it
authority to have?
to every studio, and they're saying no, that's stupid or
So
whatever.
basically, what I heard is it's like the top execs from these from these production companies have to go to wherever his agent's house is, read the entire script, and then they have to talk about it to make sure they actually read the whole script. And then they have like bullet points on like, this is what I want the production budget to be, and so on. This is who
That was
I'm
like the
considering.
main plot point in Draft Day, where they were like, "Oh, and we hit it $50 at the end of the playbook, and if
Well,
you read
I-
it the entire
Is
way
this-
through, then
Is this the 9th Quentin Tarantino?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
he says he's stopping at 10, right?
I thought
I
this
don't
was
know.
9. I thought he was stopping at 9.
I thought he was stopping at 10.
Oh, whatever.
Who cares?
it's like the symphonies.
Hateful Eight was
Symphony
great,
Curse.
though.
Yeah.
A
never
line
saw
from it
it.
is my text tone.
What are all the
But
Tarantino movies?
You don't care that much for Quentin Tarantino?
No, I love him. I don't care for Charles Manson.
Okay.
I love Quentin Tarantino movies. They're great.
But you don't care that there's only going to be like 1 or 2 more?
No, I've had my fill.
I think he's going to just change
Did he
it.
make Kill Bill?
I don't want him to make a crappy movie is what I don't want to have.
That's
That's
why
true.
he's so specific.
It's too late.
Obviously, he must have.
Uh-oh.
He must have.
Which one don't you like?
No, I like most of them.
He must have faith in
one
the
of-
script.
Most of them.
though.
What? Which
he
one
had
don't
some
you
early
like?
ones, like before Reservoir
Dogs?
Oh, those don't count.
Yeah, well,
He must have faith in his script if he's doing this.
That's true.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Plus,
what-
I don't think anyone else can get away with
He
this.
has
That's
the
true.
influence.
What's
I mean, I
everyone's
think-
favorite?
See, I don't even know which ones he's made.
yeah, that's the question.
I'd say
Really?
Inglorious Bastards or.
See, I haven't seen a lot of his.
Do you
haven't seen
Django?
Inglourious?
do I have to separate the Kill Bills or can I say them together?
I like
You can
Kill
say 'em
Bill.
together.
They were filmed as one film, but it was so long that
long,
he had to
yeah.
split it.
I prefer 1 over
so
2.
I like Kill Bill, both of them.
I don't know all the Tarantino
I prefer
movies.
1 over 2.
I like Jackie Brown.
I've never saw
I'd
it.
have to
I
go.
haven't seen that one.
Oh, you have to see
Yeah.
Jackie
I
Brown.
have to see Inglourious.
Robert De
Basterds.
Niro in that one is hilarious.
What other movies did he do? Name some.
Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs,
I've seen
Django
Pulp Fiction.
Unchained.
I
Django
haven't seen.
Unchained,
I
Okay.
haven't seen like any of them.
Hateful Eight.
Okay, I've seen Django. Django's good. I'm really ashamed to admit I have not seen Pulp Fiction. I really should.
Oh, you really do need to
Yeah,
see
I
Pulp
know.
Fiction.
I haven't seen Inglourious.
We'll do
Basterds.
that in our next podcast.
That
movie
one's
night,
funny.
along
That
with
one's so
Baby
good.
Driver. We're here.
I also haven't
next
seen The
season.
Hateful Eight, which I heard is really good.
The Bear Jew.
Okay, moving on.
Buongiorno.
In a report according to Deadline, Mel Gibson,
Speaks
Danny
Italian.
Glover, and Richard Donner are all meeting with Warner Brothers to discuss the possibility of doing another goddamn Lethal Weapon movie.
Woo! Yes, do
Let's
it.
do it.
Oh
The
my God, I
the
will
trade-
give them my money.
The trade reports that Donner would direct with Channing Gibson, writer of Lethal Weapon 4, penning the script.
All right.
I don't care who writes.
Let's
the
do
script.
it.
I want to see Danny
Whoever
Glover
writes it
and
deserves
Mel
diplomatic
Gibson
immunity.
to be revoked.
I have not seen any of them.
What?
Shun the unbelievable.
That's okay because I bought the DVD 4-pack for like $6 at Best Buy.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, eventually.
I haven't seen any of them. We should have a marathon.
You know when they play them
I
all
could- we could
is
do that.
every New Year's Eve, like, and it's not like late to interfere with your like ball
No,
drop.
it's daytime.
It starts at like 10 in the morning, and they play all the Lethal
How,
Weapons.
are they each like 2 hours long, roughly?
Yeah,
Are they relevant to New Year's or why? Like,
No.
Why do they
I don't
do that?
know.
Don't they consider one of them to be like a Christmas movie?
No, you're thinking of Die Hard.
Die Hard
Oh, I
is.
think
And
it's
that is a good.
And it is a Christmas movie.
Okay, either way.
It takes place entirely at a Christmas party.
Have
Yeah.
you seen Die Hard?
No.
Oh, you need to see that.
All right.
Hans Gruber.
Actually, I heard. All right. Variety is saying that Justice League will have to succeed if they're going to continue with Flashpoint.
Wow.
Ultimatum.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. I hope that Justice League crashes and burns.
I mean,
I'm
Flashpoint
so
will probably.
fuck Flashpoint. You know what? Fuck it. It was the worst comic arc in the history of goddamn forever. CW did it okay. Fuck Flashpoint.
CW.
You know that Justice
Yeah, they
League
did.
is going to do just
Technically,
fine.
they did it.
I
but
know,
was like
and it
half an
pisses me
episode.
off.
I don't want it
Still
to do
counts.
fine, but I'm still going to go.
Listen. Flashpoint was one of the worst
mean,
comic events in history.
it's gonna-
DC had their shit together, and then they decided, fuck that, we're gonna come up with this thing. You know how they retconned it? Do you know what they just did to retcon Flashpoint?
No.
They introduced Dr. fucking Manhattan from Watchmen. That's how they retconned it. They literally brought in Watchmen to retcon it and say, this is actually Dr. Manhattan, and he decided to make the universe super edgy because he was doing a test. That's how they retconned Flashpoint. That's how Flashpoint ended. That is its legacy. It is awful. And if that is seriously what they're going to do here, then I hope that the Justice League franchise burns.
Well, they're gonna probably make it. It's just probably gonna be dependent on like,
God, I
how
hope
big
Disney.
the movie
I hope
is.
Disney buys them and then burns it to the ground.
This is the rant we deserved.
Oh my God.
Oh, this
I
is.
can't-
Alec hasn't been this animated on a rant in a long time.
So-
Come on.
And
Keep
never.
going.
You haven't-
Out of literally everything.
So
You
supposedly,
haven't actually fucked. You
I-
uncensored yourself
Oh,
for that one.
I could roast
going.
marshmallows on this hot take.
Well, here's
It's
the
not
thing.
a hot take.
Flashpoint is just CW did it okay. You know why? Because CW understood that it was only messing around with the limited amount of characters. In the comics, they're just like, oh, we're just gonna fuck everyone up because the simple act of saving Barry Allen's mother is so detrimental to the universe that everything goes to hell. Because of this, Aquaman cheats with Wonder Woman on his wife. How does that make any sense? I don't know. Because of this, Superman gets locked in a facility and he doesn't see the sun for
Time
25 years.
out.
That's what happens.
Aquaman has a wife?
Yes, Mara.
Aqua Woman.
Thankfully,
Is that
no.
what her name is?
Yeah, her
Okay.
name is Mara.
Oh,
They've
no,
been
I
together since
meant
the
Aqua Woman.
No,
Aqua
No.
Lady.
Okay.
no, she's actually like she has a much more badass title. I just don't remember it.
Is there a whole set of Aqua people?
There's Aqua Lad who becomes Tempest.
Barnacle Boy.
They did refer to their son as Aqua Baby for a while.
I don't
Here's
mean
the
that.
sad thing though. You shouldn't laugh because Black Manta kills him in about 5 issues.
Good.
I don't mean
So-
that. I don't mean is there a handful of Aqua people? Is there like a city of Aqua people?
Like
Yes, it's Atlantis.
That's stupid.
Well, you asked me. So
I did.
here's the thing. Seriously, you had Crisis on Infinite Earths. You could have done something with Imperiex. You could have brought in, the Green Lanterns and done Blackest Night. You could have done a million other things that I've forgotten about. You could have made Lex Luthor president or done any of this other stuff. But no, we're immediately going to jump to Flashpoint because Flashpoint is the coolest thing ever. I hate Flashpoint. Yes, because we need edgier Batman.
I'd
where
like to
Bruce
give
gets
Green
shot.
Lantern one more chance.
Who knows when Flashpoint is actually gonna happen?
The point that they're even thinking about doing Flashpoint right now is asinine.
Can you just explain Flashpoint for the people, the dummies out there that might not know?
Sure. So what happens in Flashpoint is basically Barry Allen, the Flash,
20 minutes.
during this thing in DC, basically says, you know what? I'm going to fuck with the laws of time and space, and I'm going to go back in time. He has a nemesis called Zoom, or the Reverse Flash. And basically what happens is the Reverse Flash goes and kills his mother. So Barry Allen decides, you know what? I'm going to use the Speed Force. I'm going to run so fast that I go back in time, and I'm going to stop him from killing my mother. He does it, and then because he does this one thing, it creates a butterfly effect for the most part. The problem is the butterfly effect is like so awful in the story that it makes no sense how the fact of just him saving his mother does it. It comes into something where like he loses his powers. It affects things that shouldn't be affected. Like Bruce Wayne gets shot instead of his parents. His mother becomes the Joker. Thomas Wayne becomes Batman. It's all of this like weird stuff where they're like, we're just gonna fuck it up just because we can fuck it up, basically. And it was like, how can we show what an awful decision this is because Barry Allen broke the laws of time and space? And he ends it by he has to go back and kill his own mother, and that's how they resolve it. But when he does that, it resets the entire DC universe, so that when it comes back, like Superman's just starting out again and he can't really fly, he's just jumping really far. They like reset everything about it.
The guy that kills Tom and Martha Wayne stops to tie his shoe and misses them walking out of the theater. It's crazy.
I think CW did it very well.
CW did it fine because CW understood that it should really just affect the characters. Exactly.
They made Barry a whiny little weakling that wanted to save his mom, and then he realized he messes up, so he had to go back and just watch it happen again. I know the Flash is like arguably the most powerful because he can mess with the timeline, but I hate the whole, I'll just travel back in time to fix this.
Well, the problem is I didn't have a problem with it as a Flash story. I had a problem with it as
impacting the entire
a Flash breaks the entire universe story.
It should be he saves his mom. His mom like drinks and drives and hits Bruce Wayne.
Oh my god.
You know what? That would be more realistic. But that's the thing. They literally just now brought in Watchmen to end it. Like, people are, like, losing their minds about it. Like, Dr. Manhattan's about to go to war with Superman. This is how they're resolving Flashpoint. After 4 years of having its effects, that's how they decided to
Who would win,
resolve it.
Superman or Dr. Manhattan?
Dr. Manhattan, because he can literally take apart everything. The whole point of this seems to be that Doc Manhattan's going to try to break Superman and make him like the edgy version that's currently in the movies.
I'd rather just him blow up Superman.
Yeah, he could do that too.
I need to watch Watchmen.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Watchmen?
Nope.
Good movie.
Read the comic first.
Okay.
The comic is so good.
Whoa, you have not
Were you
seen
on when I said
Watchmen?
HBO is making a TV show on it?
Yeah, I think I was.
Yeah, you were.
I wasn't sure.
All right,
Anyway.
my rant is done. I'm sorry, but I hate Flashpoint.
This is going to be a
Never
really
apo-
good episode.
never
with that rant.
apologize.
That's going to be my selling
Content.
point.
That was
Alright.
the best rant.
That was
we've
pretty
ever had.
meaty.
Like, you think Mitch's gluten rant from the
Yeah,
first
it
episode
only-
was good? This one
it
was.
took-
I didn't think it was that good.
It took
That's
10
just
I
episodes.
didn't
how
listen.
much, as
That's
a
fine.
comic person, that's just how much I hate that.
MGM and Annapurna formed a U.S. distribution partnership for the Creed and the next Bond film.
I have zero
Okay.
thoughts on
Creed?
that.
Cool.
Yeah, Creed.
Yeah,
Creed 2.
Creed 2. You know,
I
Apollo
don't.
Creed's kid.
Yeah, I don't.
It's the
wanna
next
see
Rocky
it.
movie. Okay,
No, thank you.
fair enough.
That's fine.
This is like Rocky 3. It's like, give me a break.
Okay.
Rocky 3 had Iron.
In an interview with
I
IO9
know.
with Germain Lucero, Thor Ragnarok director says that he would like to make a Black Widow film, saying, "I'd like to see Black Widow as something crazy and a bit funnier than we expect it to be, because we know her story and it's very sullen and very dark, and her history is very dark. But what's the funny version of that? What's the more entertaining version of that?
Why
don't
can't,
wanna- I don't
why
want a
can't
black-
it be a serious Black
I don't
Widow
want a black.
movie?
I don't want a black.
There's
As
nothing
long
funny.
as it's Scarlet playing Black Widow, I will watch it.
There's
Yeah.
nothing funny about
But
what
I-
happened to her.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. You could have something with funnier elements, I guess, and you could maybe do a Black Widow Hawkeye film. But please,
Why does she have to split it with Hawkeye?
Well, I'm just saying have Hawkeye as a supporting character or something like that, because their backstories intertwined in this one. I don't know, but I agree with you. Like, why does it have to be funny? And
I want to see a dark movie.
Yeah, I know.
Guess what?
And I want them to
And
lighten up Justice
Marvel
League.
can do that.
It gets, from what I heard, it gets super dark.
Well,
because you already see Scarlett Johansson's, like, how, like, she's already, like, the character's already kind of messed up.
Yeah, they see a little bit of her backstory.
Yeah.
I think
she can't wear a bikini anymore because, you know, Bucky Barnes just shot her through the back to get to the hostage.
Okay. I'll take it.
You don't remember that from Winter Soldier?
No. Oh,
Okay,
okay. No. That's fine.
She could still wear a bikini.
Sure. With
I'm just
Thor
commenting
Ragnarok
on-
and
that's
Black
a little-
Panther opening before next May's Avengers Infinity War, the final pieces of Marvel Studios' big two-part culmination of the MCU. With Josh Brolin's Thanos now stepping into the forefront as the villain to end all villains, co-director Anthony Russo revealed that he not only has a big role to play, he's almost a lead in the film. With the story
I have
taking
such
on
high
a
hopes for
tone
this.
of a heist film as he hunts down the final Infinity Stones, saying, here's the quote. What the frick? God damn.
Which Josh Brolin's going to be Cable as well.
Yes,
Right?
which is sweet.
So he's going to be Cable and Thanos.
Those are two pretty great roles to get. If
That's
you got to
awesome.
get two roles, those-
Here's the quote. With Infinity War, the biggest new element to the movie is Thanos, and the fact that he's entering the storytelling in a very bold, strong way to the degree that he's almost one of the leads. We've shaped an interesting narrative around him that in some way leans heavily on a heist film, and the fact that he's going after the Infinity Stones in a much bolder, successful way than he has in the past. The entire movie has that energy of the bad guy being one step ahead of the heroes. We've looked at a lot of movies
Adrian Chase.
that had that heist style energy to them and brought some inspiration.
the greatest trick that Thanos ever
I-
pulled was convincing the others that the Infinity Stones didn't exist. I dig this. I dig this a lot. Thanos is supposed to be good at what he does, which is being bad.
I want Cable to be played by Pierce Brosnan instead.
No,
That would have been a fine choice, too.
Does this basically mean then, if Josh Brolin is Thanos, does this mean Deadpool is not going to enter the Avengers?
I don't think they ever
Side of
plan
Marvel.
on mixing.
Well, they never
Anything at all.
they never planned on mixing those up until
Right.
I mean the first thing we got was that Disney was attempting to buy parts of Fox today. But I mean no, they were not planning on mixing those at all.
Yeah, so we probably won't see Deadpool, if I had to guess now, in our Avengers MCU.
For quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some time at least
Because
until
if Josh Brolin is Cable, I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to double up his roles like that.
yeah. Though to be fair, I mean we don't know how big of a role Cable is playing, even
That's
if
fair.
he'll survive in the next.
Right, and it's not like Thanos is going to look like Josh
Brolin,
much
exactly.
either.
But I'm
That'd
very
be funny
impressed.
if
This
they
looks
didn't
great.
give him
This
any
sounds
makeup.
great.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I like it because they've been hyping Thanos up, and they're finally going to have like a biggest thing. The biggest disappointments for stuff like Fantastic Four was, oh, you got Galactus. Galactus is not scary at all. And that's what I'm concerned about with Justice League. Are people really going to be scared of Darkseid, or is he just going to be like flavor of the month? Here with Thanos, Thanos has been the end game for a while. They teased him back in the first Avengers movie. They introduced him in Guardians of the Galaxy, being like, okay, well, you can try, Ronan, but if you do, I'm going to fuck up your shit.
Yeah, in all of the teasers and just little brief parts he's had so far, he's been very, like,
Yeah.
ominous and intimidating.
And he's had a role in the universe.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, fun fact, and we'll save this for maybe a little later when we tried to do our Thor review, but he's actually on the Easter egg. Do you remember the giant wall of faces on the by the on the Grandmaster's thing? They confirmed that there are 5 Easter eggs there, and he's one of the faces on there. I'll go with the other. I'll talk to you about the other 4 in a bit.
All right,
Awesome.
moving on.
Don't you dare talk about this fucking Lion King.
They brought in Beta Ray
No?
Bill. They brought in.
I'm gonna
Beta
just
Ray
mention
Bill.
that the full cast is announced.
The
right.
Lion King.
So the Lion King's full cast has been announced. This and it will be released July 19, 2019.
Disney jizzing in your face, and people can't even see.
That's
it through
fine. The
color.
cast is very good. So
I mean, I'll take all that Disney come if it means another Lion King movie.
so
It's bullshit.
What
They're
is bullshit?
taking an animated movie and turning it into a almost animated fake live action movie
yeah,
been,
but
with
like,
the same actors.
20 years
from
later.
the-
There's only one actor that's the
James Earl Jones.
Right.
yeah. So
Whatever.
anyway,
I
here-
just don't want to see a shot-for-shot remake of an animated
So
film.
anyway,
It's not
go
going to
see
be
it.
shot for shot.
I bet it will be close.
Listen, if Disney decides that they're going to do it right and include "He Lives in You," then I'm going to see that movie. I don't care.
All right. Well,
That's the greatest. That's one of the greatest songs on Broadway, right there.
Did you see The Jungle Book?
No.
Okay. Well, I did, and it was fantastic.
Well, I think Jungle Book is more art than... I don't want to see The Lion King. I don't want to see Mulan.
Eric Andre
I don't
is
want to
playing
see Beauty
Ed.
and the Beast. I don't want to see any of those movies turned into a half live action movie.
All right.
That's
Well,
fine.
here is the cast. So Donald Glover is Simba.
Yes.
Beyonce is Nala.
Well, we don't need to go. I mean,
Yeah, we don't need to go cast by cast. People know the cast
anybody
by
who
this
cares
point.
has already seen
James
it.
Earl Jones is Mufasa. I think some of the cast is interesting, like John Oliver as Zazu.
That's
Yeah.
I like that.
I thought
Eric Andre and
Yeah, like
Michael
Seth
Thompson
Rogen is
are the two of the
Pumbaa.
hyenas.
Yeah.
Billy Eichner is Timon.
Yeah, I think all the casting is perfect.
Give me all of the Eric Andre.
Yeah, Eric Andre.
Eric Andre
and-
is Ed.
is on ZZ.
Yes, well, they confirmed basically that Key Michael Thompson and Clay, they changed because it was Shansai Benzai and Ed in the original.
Do you mean Keegan Michael Key?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't
Yeah,
pronounce
Keegan
his
Michael
Sorry.
Key is Kamari.
Yeah, so they replaced Bonsai and Ed with Kamari and Nizi. I think that's Eric Andre's character. So I think same character, they just changed their names a little bit. But hey, you know what? If they do He Lives in You, which is one of my favorite musical lines everywhere, I will go see that movie. I just will.
How are you gonna know if they do it? unless you
That
see
I
the
will
movie?
wait and see it on YouTube, and then I will go
Alright.
see the movie. I'll be like, "That's it. The song's in the movie. I'm going to see it."
Fuck Disney for doing
So,
this bullshit.
in an interview with the Star Wars show, head of Lucasfilms, Kathleen Kennedy, shed some light on their plans for Episode 9 after it hits theaters. She revealed the Star Wars franchise will continue on past Episode 9 for at least the next 10 years, even focusing on some of the new characters established in the sequel trilogy.
Yes.
Saying, we're looking at the next 10 years of Star Wars stories. We're looking at narratively where that might go. Future stories beyond Episode 9 with these new characters: Rey, Poe, Finn, BB-8. We're
Did they
also
just
looking
confirm they
at-
all survived? What was the
We're
point?
also looking at people who are interested in coming into the Star Wars world and taking us to places we haven't been yet.
Give me live action Ahsoka Tano. Give me live action anybody from Star
You know
Wars
what?
Rebels.
I'm going to call it right now. If you want to do it, take a page out of the EU, bring in the Guzang Vong.
They better put Ahsoka Tano in here
Give
soon.
me a Mandalorian movie live action.
Yes.
Give me
There
Django
should be a
or Boba
Mandalorian
Fett.
movie.
There should have
That would
been
be
a
cool.
Boba Fett or a Jango Fett standalone movie.
Well,
There
apparently
needs to be
that
that.
apparently
I'd like
the
to see a
third
Jango
one.
origin story and a Boba.
Apparently,
Yeah.
the third one
Give
is
me
a
both.
Boba Fett one.
Mandalorians
Good.
are one of the coolest things in Star
Because
Wars.
I'm tired. Boba's been a cool character, but that's all he's done. He's
Yeah.
looked cool.
That's it.
We hear so much about how great he is. Just give me a movie and show me something great.
Supposedly,
The
what a
fans
lot
look-
of people want is him like Boba Fett organizing that group of gangster
The bounty hunters?
Bounty hunters.
Make Boba Fett as cool as he is
I
in
would love
Robot
that.
Chicken.
I want to.
Hey, guess what? Boba's
that.
back, baby.
Jabba
Got
the
one
Hutt
saber.
anything
Oh, what's
origin
better than one
story.
lightsaber? Two lightsabers.
I want a Jar Jar origin story.
I want a Jar Jar Sith Lord movie.
Yeah, I want a
we
Jar
need more.
Jar
We need more Gungans. Like
No, we need more Ewoks.
less Ewoks, more Gungans.
More Mandalore.
Porgs.
Porgs. Apparently, there's a baby.
More
porg.
bounty hunters. Give
Apparently
me an
there's a baby
Give
porg
me an
in episode
IG-88 movie. Give me a Bosk movie.
Well, apparently it's like him. Apparently, like the report of the Boba Fett movie, or that's what I heard people want, is him forming that whole group.
Anything where I can get more Slave 1 just to hear the blaster sound on
Also
Yeah, that'd
on
be
movies
sweet,
that we want
yeah.
to say, please, for the love of God, make a Knights of the Old Republic movie. Do you know how many people
Supposedly-
would go apeshit over that?
I want
Supposedly,
Revan.
Oh, hell yeah.
supposedly
I want
that
Revan in a movie.
I'm still
suppose-
waiting for a Johnny Quest movie, so everyone's gonna have to fucking wait.
that'll never happen.
Johnny Quest thinks we're sellouts.
Supposedly there are. I heard there were talks that might be the next trilogy.
Yes.
Knights of the Old.
Let's go.
If
Knights of
Ewan
the Old
McGregor
Republic would
comes
be the
back,
next
I'll
trilogy.
take an Obi-Wan standalone
Yeah.
movie.
Apparently, that's the next.
I want live action.
Oh, that was-
I
I-
want live action Duchess Satine and Obi-Wan.
Do
so
it.
so I can cry at that too instead of just at the cartoon version.
Oh boy! All right.
Spoiler alert: Satine dies in Clone Wars.
Give us that Obi-Wan soft
So
porn. That's what I'm
another
talking
another
about.
Star Wars news.
I want to see him screwing it.
Star Wars,
And
nothing but
And a new
Star
report
Wars.
from the from the Wall Street Journal. It looks as though Disney's conditions for theaters screening the Star Wars The Last Jedi included some unprecedented demands that are causing theaters to question whether or not they will even screen the movie.
Can you name the demands?
The report that details that Disney is now requiring 65% of the revenue from ticket sales, up from 64% for The Force Awakens and Rogue One.
They're just gonna charge more money.
For us tonight, I have Movie Pass.
And so, also, it will require the movie to be in the largest auditorium for 4 weeks, and if it is not, they will require 70% of ticket revenue.
It's Star Wars. Just do it.
Put it in the largest auditorium. It'll still sell out every
Well,
single
it
show.
won't affect like AMC and Regal and Flicks and all that. Well, it'll affect the smaller theaters.
Okay,
Kill
guess
'em.
what? People in those small towns still like Star Wars.
Yeah.
They'll go
Yeah,
see
but
it.
not for a month.
Yeah, they will.
I'm sorry, you lost me, small town theaters, after you tried to ban Beauty and the Beast, because LeFou might have had a couple of.
Well, I
gay
heard some small
tendencies.
theaters are just not showing it.
Well, good for them.
Okay, that's their loss. They're missing
Yeah.
out on money.
right.
Side note,
I
I can
can't-
still taste the sandwich I had for lunch. So
What'd you eat?
I had a New York steamer from Firehouse Subs.
Is that place expensive?
Yeah, it was like $10 for a full foot long, or if it's even a foot long, it's a hot sub. It was very
Well, that's
good.
not bad, I
Basically
guess.
a meat sandwich. It was awesome.
Not bad.
Which
Rich
fact of the week.
The
Rich fact of the week.
Which fact of the week?
The rich fact of the week.
This time it's Rich's turn for a fact about himself. Episode 10. Here we go.
The rich fact of the week is my favorite sport is cricket.
Okay, but you have to.
That is
you have to say it like you're in the third person.
Rich's
Rich's fact.
no Rich's favorite.
Rich's.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We
I don't
Leaving that
care.
in.
Whatever.
Really, cricket. What, you never talk about cricket.
Who's
you
your
always talk
favorite
about soccer.
cricket player?
Jiminy.
Yeah.
I liked him too.
That's it. The episode's over. We can just end it right there.
All right. Ultra Sun and Moon will be the last 3DS Pokemon game.
Well, they had a pretty good run.
We talked about that already.
Well, I figured you'd cut it out because it was part of the pick of the week.
I did cut it out.
Then
There you go.
Because I said it in my pick of the week,
Rich
so I
is
figured
playing
you'd cut it
5-dimensional chess.
out. Saying just that it's had a good
You
run.
could taste the cheese.
And
So does that mean we'll finally get an MMO Pokemon RPG?
the next Pokemon game will be on
I don't know
Switch.
what any of that
Awesome.
meant.
The next full
Okay, do you know-
length Pokemon.
Yeah, Switch is going to be the new handheld.
It's
Yes.
gonna be lit.
Do you know what Pokemans are?
Yeah.
It's that, but a game.
Okay.
Okay. Glad we had this
Whatever.
talk. Continue. on, Rich.
MMORPG is
It's the-
massively multiplayer online role-playing game.
All right.
Think of
That's,
World of
that's all I
Warcraft.
needed
Think
to
of
know.
World of Warcraft.
Okay. I am
Well,
thinking of.
Ultra Sun and Moon. You used to play Pokemon, right? At
Yeah.
one point, and they'd release 2 versions, and then they'd
Ultra
make a
Beasts.
third,
Yeah.
special version
So,
after,
Those are the ones I would buy.
like
at-
Crystal or
yeah.
Emerald. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
it's-
is just
it's
that.
This is what it is. And so at E3 last year, they said, hey, we're finally working on our next Pokemon game, and it's going to be for the Switch. So the next mainline Pokemon game will come out
All
for
right.
the Nintendo
I can't
Switch.
wait to be able to have Buzzswole on my TV in all its glory.
Because when you said
I have a Switch, and I like it.
'Cause when you
That was when I was like, they have totally run out of ideas here. I say that before, but now you have giant buff
Guarantee if there's
mosquito.
a next Pokemon generation, one will be a fidget spinner.
Yeah, you're probably not.
Yeah,
when you talk about
The new
WoW
Rotom.
though, like I lost a friend to WoW. We all lost.
We did.
John Heck.
Well,
I
the
didn't
fine
lose
friend,
any-
he kind of cut his ties with me before.
I didn't know anyone.
Is he still playing WoW?
probably.
Yes.
I can imagine.
Some say
so.
he's been playing ever since.
I think everybody lost a friend to WoW at some time.
Yeah,
I didn't, because I didn't know anyone that
But
played
to
WoW.
keep it sappy,
Well,
because
maybe you are the friend that was lost. to
No,
WoW.
because I've never played it.
You either lost a friend to WoW or you are the friend.
No,
To be fair, though-
Rich was lost to StarCraft.
Or you
No,
lost.
I've never
You
played...
lost a future friend. It was someone
Sure.
you didn't know. You were supposed to meet them.
Yeah.
You know,
You were
to be
spo-
fair though,
you, were-
Alright.
you guys were supposed to be best friends.
Yeah.
Maybe even your spouse.
Yeah,
But
if
they
World of-
found World
Oh,
of
no.
Warcraft.
If
and
World of Warcraft didn't exist, you'd be married right now. You'd have like 7 kids, dude.
Oh, boy.
7.
All right.
you
So,
know, just saying because
sets
our
of
friend
twins.
decided he was going to play WoW, I got to get you guys instead.
Yeah.
That's a trade I'll take.
Star
any
Wars
day.
Battlefront 2 campaign will take 5 to 7 hours to complete.
That's fine.
Cool.
Okay.
People are gonna play it for multiplayer anyways. 'cause
As
it's the
long as the
campaign I hope will be.
multiplayer is good. Bring back Alec.
I started
I mean,
reading
5
before.
to 7 hours.
very
That's
good.
just an
I
average,
need to
right?
start.
I'm like 4 chapters in.
Yeah.
It's
It
very
takes
good.
however long I fucking want it to take.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess so.
Twist the analog stick in circles. I'm getting my fucking money's worth.
Metal Gear Survive will come out on February 20th, 2018.
Fuck you,
No one cares.
Konami. Continue.
Yeah, basically.
Did the next Assassin's Creed come out?
Yeah, Origins.
Yeah, and it's
Origins.
apparently
It's
very
very
good.
good.
Apparently
Yeah,
very good.
What is what's the theme? Like
Ancient
Egypt.
Ancient Egypt. The beginning of the Assassin
The
Order.
you play as the very first.
And you have like a hawk
Assassin.
now.
Yep.
Instead of
Has
having to go
anyone
up to the
played it?
tower thing.
I played like an hour of it. It's
we could-
basically an RPG.
If we ever want to get a review, we should reverse
We'll do
hotline
a
call
playthrough.
Scott
we can do a
Blakey, or
live
we can do
action
a live
playthrough.
action
We can watch Rich play
Speaking
Assassin's
of Scott
Creed.
Blakey, I heard this from him. Talked about the new COD World War II game because he was playing a little bit of it. Zombies is hard, and that's what I've heard from Scott Blakey.
Fully erect.
Yeah,
All right.
Really? Do they have blood that can even happen?
yeah. Well, apparently the new boss is
Is it Hitler?
Is it a,
not yet. They haven't gone full sniper elite zombie yet.
Von Ribbentrop?
But it's something out of Resident Evil.
It's a Volkswagen.
No,
is it
It's an undead Volkswagen.
undead
is it a
Volkswagen.
Nazi cat?
It's like a bunch.
A la Fievel?
I'm trying to. Papa. It's
Don't
fairly
talk
disgusting.
About that movie.
Let's see if I can find a picture of it. that
All
I
right,
can
I'm
show
moving
it to
on.
you.
Good.
The Kinect finally is dead.
Good.
The what?
The Kinect.
The Xbox?
No, yeah, the Kinect that
Yeah,
went with
Microsoft's new VR is going to take over for that, so it doesn't matter.
they finally discontinued it. They're not making
that's-
any more.
I didn't know that anyone was buying them.
They're not, that's the thing.
Clue.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Project Natal.
I remember that code.
Do you
thing.
remember PlayStation iToy? I still have mine.
This is like when the gas companies told people their electric cars need to be brought in for service, and then they destroyed them. Like, we just need to look at your Kinect.
All right.
God,
According
they
to
disappeared. What Kinect?
according to EA Electronic Arts Executive Vice President Patrick Soderlund, the decision to close Visceral Games and refocus the Star Wars project was not made because it was a single-player game. I don't believe that.
You can't sell loot crates for single player.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
all
right? It
motivation.
says storytelling has always been a part of who we are, and
Which is why
single
they
player
have it in
games
Battlefront 2.
will continue, of course. He went on to note that the publisher's decision to refocus the project isn't about needing a game that monetizes in a certain way. I
No,
don't
it
believe
is.
that.
It's all about money.
And he continued saying, at the end of the day, this was a creative decision. Our job is to give people a deep enough experience and story, and it is also to push the boundaries forward. We just didn't think we were quite getting it right. I don't believe him at all. Last two stories. You can now, in the U.S., turn in your trophies for PlayStation. Announced by Sony, as spotted by DualShockers, the Sony Rewards system now allows players to register their achievements in return for a little kickback based on the points. So 100 silver trophies equals 100 points, 25 gold trophies equals 250 points, and 10 platinum trophies equal 1,000 points. As you might expect, the payoff isn't gigantic, as 1,000 points break down to $10 of credit. So basically, it's 100 points per dollar of trophies. But at least you can get something for them.
Okay, so they're incentivizing achievements now.
Yeah, the bronze trophies are not used, so it's only silver, gold, platinum.
That's pretty cool. Aside from just, a feeling of accomplishment or bragging rights if you're that kind of person.
So like,
Gives you another reason.
it'd be like Xbox for like every 1,000 achievement points you get like $1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I wish
that's
they would
kinda
do. Last but not least, GameStop announced today that they are announcing a new used game rental service. And according to an advertisement posted on Reset Era, the subscription service called Power Pass lets you rent a used game, return it, and then rent another title as often as you like over a 6-month period. At the end of this 6-month period, you'll get to keep any one of the games you rented as often. You get to rent as many times as you like over the 6-month period, and then you get to keep any one of the games that you rented.
What does this cost?
So it translates.
Do you have a
It's $60 for the 6 months, so basically $10 a month.
So $10 a month, $60 for 6 months.
You can go into a
To
GameStop.
play unlimited games.
You can go into a
used,
GameStop and rent any used game you want,
and then you get to keep any one. Of
and then
them
you
at
get
the
to
end.
keep one of the ones you rented.
Especially if you play a lot of single player.
Huh?
You get to keep one at the end of.
You get to
6
keep
months.
one of the games that you rented over the 6 months.
Which that's not bad. If you play a lot of single player stuff, that's kind of cool.
Or even multiplayer, like if it's like...
Well, play a bunch of single player to get your money's worth, or even multiplayer. Play stuff to
Like there's
until you get bored with it.
Battlefield 1. I guarantee there's tons of used copies at GameStop right now. And Battlefield 1 is still
Right, pushing content.
pushing content, and they just released the new season pass.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's a cool little deal.
speaking of like single player games, something just totally flew under my radar. I guess it came out like a couple months ago when they released the trailers. They're doing Darksiders 3. When
Yeah.
did that happen?
It was announced during the summer.
Yeah, I totally missed that, which is weird because I was redoing my playthrough of Darksiders 2 at that time. So I was like, what?
Fun.
Oh, I love those games. I'm going to pick it up.
I think they were part of the THQ sell-off.
It's a name I haven't heard in a while. THQ.
Well, yeah, and then basically what happened was after THQ filed for bankruptcy, if what I remember was correct, a bunch of people then decided to create a new one called THQ Nordic, and I believe that's who's publishing this.
THQ, the hard questions. That's what we ask on the podcast.
Yeah, and that's all I have. Do we want to do our picks first?
Why don't we? Actually, I think the four of us can make one pick right here, and we'll tie it into our last
Yeah.
part here. Thor Ragnarok.
Fantastic movie. Go see it and listen for our review. Which
Yeah.
will be coming soon.
The review will probably come out before this, but
Yeah.
because it's shorter.
what we do.
Yeah, so take a listen to it if you don't, because we have a lot of interesting things to say about it.
Well,
All
you
right.
probably do.
All right.
We
Right.
don't.
This has
has
been
been
episode
10.
Episode 10.
Of the I'd Rather Be Rich podcast.
We're a decade.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're 10 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
We did
One
it,
episode
Reddit.
a year. We're 10.
10 weeks old. We're like just eating solid food. Is that when you eat solid food?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't like babies.
I don't remember being a baby.
We're still sucking titties over here.
No, that's for sure.
See you next week.
Till the next
Thanks
time.
for joining us. Bye.